Welcome to Bedtime Whisper. Now get comfortable, take a slow breath, and let's begin tonight's journey. The cloud gardener far beyond the tallest mountains. Above the drifting birds and silver winds, there lived a gentle gardener named Elias. His garden was unlike any other. He did not grow roses, lavender, or towering trees. Instead, he cared for clouds. Every morning before the sun painted the sky with gold, Elias would climb a winding staircase made of moonlight. Step by step, he rose into the heavens until he reached a floating meadow hidden among the clouds. There, thousands of clouds rested peacefully. Some were small and fluffy like sleeping rabbits. Others were grand and wide, stretching across the sky like soft white kingdoms. Each cloud had its own shape, its own personality, and its own quiet purpose. Elias knew them all. He greeted every cloud by name. "Good morning, Willow," he would say to a cloud shaped like a swan. "How are you today, Pebble?" he would ask a small round cloud drifting lazily nearby. The clouds responded in the only way they knew. They floated a little higher. They shimmered softly. And sometimes they released tiny sparkles of morning dew. Elias spent his days tending to them with great care. Using a silver watering can filled with starlight, he nourished the clouds so they remained soft and bright. With a feather broom made from the wings of sky swallows, he brushed away dust gathered from distant winds. When clouds became tangled together, he gently separated them and helped them find their proper places. The work was peaceful, the sky was quiet, and the world below often seemed very far away. One evening, as the sun melted into shades of amber and rose, Elias noticed something unusual. A tiny cloud sat alone near the edge of the meadow. It was smaller than all the others. Its edges were gray instead of white, and unlike the rest, it seemed unwilling to float. The little cloud simply hovered in place, looking down at the earth below. Elias approached carefully. "Hello there," he said warmly. The cloud remained silent. "May I sit beside you?" The cloud drifted only slightly, which Elias took as permission. Together they watched the sunset. After a while, Elias asked, "Why do you sit here all alone?" The little cloud hesitated. Then, in a voice softer than distant rain, it answered, "I don't belong." Elias listened. The cloud continued. "The others are bright and beautiful. They travel across the sky and bring wonder to the world. I am small, gray, and ordinary." The gardener smiled gently. "Clouds are not meant to be the same, but no one notices me." Elias thought for a moment. Then he pointed toward the horizon. Far below, a small village rested beside a river. Smoke curled from chimneys. Lanterns glowed in windows. Children were returning home for supper. "Do you see that village?" he asked. Yes, watch carefully tonight, the little cloud agreed. As darkness settled across the world, the villagers looked upward. The stars appeared one by one. The moon rose above the hills, and then something wonderful happened. The moonlight touched the little gray cloud. Its edges glowed silver. Its soft shape reflected the light in 100 delicate shades. People in the village stopped to admire it. Some pointed toward the sky. Others smiled quietly. A child resting beside an open window whispered, "Look, that cloud looks like a sleeping kitten." The little cloud heard every word. For the first time, it realized something. It did not need to be the largest cloud, or the brightest, or the most impressive. Simply being itself was enough. From that night forward, the little cloud floated with greater confidence, and Elias continued his work. Seasons passed gently across the sky. Spring winds carried sweet scents from blooming valleys. Summer sunlight turned the clouds golden in the afternoons. Autumn breezes painted the world below with rich colors. Winter brought crystal snowflakes that sparkled among the stars. Through it all, Elias cared for his garden. One particularly calm evening, he noticed a new challenge. Several clouds had become restless. They drifted quickly from place to place. They bumped into one another. They spun in circles, and they seemed unable to settle. "What troubles you?" Elias asked. The clouds swirled around him. Finally, one answered, "We are worried." "About what?" "The world below moves so quickly. People rush everywhere. Lights stay awake all night. We wonder if anyone still looks up at the sky." Elias considered their concern. Then he invited the clouds to join him at the edge of the meadow. Together they watched the earth below. At first, they saw busy streets and glowing cities. But as the night deepened, something beautiful emerged. A fisherman rested quietly on a dock and gazed at the stars. A mother sat beside her sleeping child and looked through an open window. A traveler paused on a mountain path to admire the moon. An elderly man watched clouds drift across the night sky while listening to the wind. "There," Elias said softly, "the world still remembers." The clouds watched silently. They saw countless people finding moments of stillness, moments of wonder, moments of peace, and little by little their worries faded. Years passed in the sky as gently as feathers drifting on a breeze. Elias grew older. His silver hair became whiter than the clouds he cared for. His footsteps became slower, yet his kindness never changed. One quiet night, he sat beneath a field of stars and listened to the distant songs of the wind. The clouds gathered around him. Willow, the swan cloud, Pebble, the round cloud, and the little gray cloud that had long ago discovered its own beauty. The clouds seemed unusually quiet. Elias smiled. "You know," he said, "every gardener must eventually rest. The clouds drifted closer. But who will care for us? They asked. Elias pointed upward. Far above them stretched an endless sky filled with stars. Look carefully. The clouds gazed higher. Among the stars, they noticed something they had never seen before. Tiny gardens of light, constellations arranged like flowers, galaxies blooming like luminous trees. The universe itself was a garden, and they had always been part of it. You have learned how to care for one another, Elias said. You no longer need a gardener. The clouds shimmered softly. Some released tiny drops of silver rain. Others glowed with moonlit warmth. It was their way of saying thank you that night. Elias climbed one final staircase of moonlight. Slowly he rose beyond the clouds, beyond the stars, beyond even the farthest ones. And there he became something new, a quiet star among countless others. Ever since then, travelers who gaze at the night sky sometimes notice a single gentle star shining above drifting clouds. It is not the brightest star, nor the largest, but it shines with a calm and comforting glow. And whenever clouds drift peacefully across the moonlit sky, they seem to move with unusual grace, as if an old gardener still watches over them, as if kindness itself lingers among the stars. And below, in quiet bedrooms and peaceful homes, people rest beneath those clouds. They close their eyes, they breathe slowly, and they drift towards sleep, carried gently by the same soft winds that once moved through the garden in the sky. The clouds continue their silent journey. The stars continue to glow. And somewhere beyond dreams, the cloud gardener smiles, watching over the world, keeping the night calm, keeping the sky gentle, and reminding every wandering heart that there is beauty in simply being exactly what you are. The wind grows softer, the clouds drift farther, the stars shine quietly above, and the night carries you peacefully into sleep.